Hello children, I welcome you all to our special English hour. Here we learn lots of things, and while learning these things, we also have some fun. Are you ready for some fun? Let's get started. Children, as you all know, we always start our day with something fun and interesting. So today, I have a new tongue twister for you. Are you all ready for it? The tongue twister is, if a dog chews shoes, whose shoes should he choose? Sounds difficult, right? I will say it one more time. If a dog chews shoes, whose shoes should he choose? I think this has become a bit simpler now, right? Now, let's try saying this tongue twister faster. If a dog chews shoes, whose shoes should he choose? If a dog choose, oops. I couldn't say it. As I said, it is difficult, but we can give it a try. So why don't you try saying this at least 3 times? Children, do you know what an adventure is? An adventure is something that gives you thrills, and when you complete that task, you feel energized and excited. Now, adventure doesn't have to be something very big like climbing a mountain or taking a swim in the sea. It can be something as simple as going out to the market and buying vegetables. Children, you all must be going to buy grocery. But do you remember the first time you ever went to a market all by yourself? I am sure we all remember that, right? And can you remember how it felt when you came back home and your mother appreciated it? Didn't it feel good? She appreciated you because you got all the things right, and you also brought back the exact change. Your mother and family members must have appreciated you, right? And you also must have felt a bit responsible. So this is the exact feeling that an adventure also gives. We feel happy and content that we have finished a difficult task. Now that I have explained to you what an adventure means, can you tell me what is your idea of an adventure? For me, adventure would be going out and trekking. I love trekking, and monsoon and winter are my favorite seasons for that specific reason. I always try to go out of the city and be amongst the nature. It is a very difficult task, but when you reach at the top, nothing is more satisfying. So my idea of an adventure would be being in the nature or trekking. Now, if you are supposed to go on an adventure like me, what are the things that you would carry? Now, children, we need to remember that we will not be living in a place where we will get everything. So, we will have to carry a lot of things. I would carry a cap. Why do you ask? To protect myself from the heat. I would carry a jacket because if I am on an adventure and if I am staying in the night, it will get cold. So I would need protection from cold. So I will carry a jacket. I will carry lots of food because we won't find any shops. So we should carry food. And we can't carry any type of food. We need to carry the food which will not get spoiled, right? Other than this, I will also carry lots of water with me. So these are some of the things that I would take on an adventure. Can you think of things that you would take on an adventure with you? Children, now let's learn some new words. You will see these words in the story when we read it. So I request you to please make a note of these words in your books. Gracious, gracious, gracious. She was a gracious dancer. Hop, hop, hop. The rabbit went hop, hop, hop. Beyond, beyond, beyond. The river was beyond the mountain. Reflection, reflection, reflection. The dog saw his reflection in the water. Unpleasantly, unpleasantly, unpleasantly. Tara looked at her food unpleasantly. So children, today we learnt 5 new words. Let's revise them. Gracious, hop, beyond, reflection and unpleasantly. I hope you all made a note of these words in your notebooks. Children, now let's read a lesson from our textbook. Please open page number 68 of your textbook. I will be reading this story and I request you to point at the words as I read them. And if you don't have a textbook, listen to me carefully. मैं अभी ये कहानी पढ़ूंगी और मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप अपने टेक्स्ट बुक में पॉइंट करें और अगर आपके पास टेक्स्ट बुक ना हो तो आप मुझे ध्यान से सुनिए. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you would never stop." Children, this story is about a duck and a kangaroo. Do you know what a kangaroo is? Kangaroo is an animal which is the national animal of Australia. It is found in many other countries, but it is hugely found in Australia. So in this lesson, the duck and the kangaroo are talking to each other, and the duck is amused by kangaroo. He is amused by the fact that kangaroo can hop on land and can hop even on sand. So he is confused as to how does a kangaroo do it. As I said, that kangaroos are found widely in Australia, but they are also found in other countries. One such country is South Africa. If you look at the climate, Australia is surrounded by water, whereas Africa is not, which means that kangaroo can survive in different climate zones. ये कहानी एक डक और एक कैंगरू की है. कैंगरू ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बहुत पॉपुलेशन में पाया जाता है, लेकिन ये डक कैंगरू को देख के चकित होता है. वो उसे ये पूछता है कि कैंगरू रेत पे भी हॉप कर सकता है और जमीन पे भी हॉप कर सकता है. तो वो ये सोच के दंग रहता है कि कैंगरू ये आखिर कैसे कर रहा है. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you, said the duck to the kangaroo. The duck is sad because he also wants to hop everywhere just like kangaroo, but he is stuck in a pond, and that makes the duck very sad. Duck kangaroo से ये कहता है कि जैसे kangaroo हर जगह हॉप करता है और अलग अलग जगहों में जाके घूमता है, डक भी यही करना चाहता है, लेकिन वो अब तालाब में फंस चुका है, तो इस वजह से वो बहुत मायूस होता है. Said the kangaroo to the duck. This requires some little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck. And there seems but one objection. When the kangaroo heard the duck, he felt very sad and he wanted to help the duck. But he had an objection. Let's find out what the objection was, which is, if you let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatiz, said the kangaroo. The kangaroo finally tells the duck as to why he doesn't take along the duck with him. He tells him that the duck has wet and cold feet, and if he takes the duck along with him, the kangaroo could catch a disease. Kangaroo आखिरकार डक को बता ही देता है. वो डक से ये कहता है कि डक के पैर गीले और ठंडे होते हैं और अगर कैंगरू उसे अपने साथ ले गया तो उसे कुछ बीमारी हो सकती है. Said the duck. As I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks which fit my web feet neatly. When the duck hears what the kangaroo says, he also gives him a reply. And what does he tell him? He tells the kangaroo that he has thought about this while sitting on the rock. So he has a solution to the problem. And the solution is that the duck has bought socks. जब डक कैंगरू की बात सुनता है तब वो उसे ये कहता है कि डक ने भी इस बारे में सोचा है और इसका हल भी निकाला है और हल ये होता है कि डक ने कुछ मोजे खरीदे होते हैं. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight pale. But to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady and quite at the end of my tail. Now, the kangaroo was very happy after listening to the duck's response, and he asks the duck to get ready for the adventure. He asks the duck to hold on to kangaroo's tail very tightly, and they leave on their adventure in the dark night. But there is a pale light of the moon. जब kangaroo duck की बात सुनता है तब वो संतुष्ट हो जाता है और वो डक को अपनी पूंछ पे बिठा लेता है और रात के अंधेरे में डक और कैंगरू अपने एडवेंचर पे चले जाते हैं. So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh who, as the duck and the kangaroo. And now, finally, the duck and kangaroo had started their adventure. They hopped and hopped all around the world, and they were enjoying their journey so much that there was nobody who was as happy as the kangaroo and the duck. Kangaroo और duck ने अपना सफर शुरू कर लिया था और वो पूरी दुनिया घूम रहे थे और पूरी दुनिया में उनसे ज़्यादा खुश कोई भी नहीं था. Children, in this lesson we saw the beautiful friendship between the duck and the kangaroo. We all saw how kangaroo helped the duck when he needed it. Don't we all want a friendship like the duck and the kangaroo? Children, wasn't it an exciting lesson? Now, let's do an activity. This activity is about adverbs. Do you remember what adverbs are? Adverbs are words that describe a verb or an adjective. Adverbs वो शब्द होते हैं जो एक adjective को या फिर एक verb को describe करते हैं. I will give you an example. If I say Raju was walking slowly, can you tell me what is the adverb here? Here the adverb is slowly. One more thing that we need to remember about adverbs is that most of the time they end with ly. एक चीज जो adverbs के बारे में बहुत important है वो ये है कि उस शब्द का ending ly से होता है, जैसे हमने ये sentence में देखा. Slowly ends with ly. Now that you have understood what adverbs are, let's do an activity. In this activity, you will see a few sentences on your screens. what you need to do is underline or find out the adverbs in these sentences. Sounds easy? You have 30 seconds for this activity and your time starts now. Children, were you able to identify the adverbs? Let's have a look. The first sentence is, the boy calmly took his test. Here, the adverb is calmly. Now, the next sentence. It says, the team eagerly awaited their next opponent. Here, the adverb is eagerly. Let's move to the next sentence. The player politely asked the officer a question. Here, the adverb is politely. Now, the next statement. The teams shook hands sincerely after the game. Here, the adverb is sincerely. Now, the next sentence. The girl clumsily walked to her seat. Here, the adverb is clumsily. Let's move to the next one now. You are dangerously close to failing the class. Here, dangerously is the adverb. Now, the next sentence. My brother barely had enough sleep. Here, barely is the adverb. Now, the next sentence. The woman foolishly sat in the wrong seat. In this sentence, foolishly is the adverb. Now, the next sentence. I joyously shouted at the top of my lungs. In this sentence, joyously is the adverb. And now, the final sentence. It says, I eagerly awaited the results of my test. In this sentence, eagerly is the adverb. Children, I hope you all got the answers correct. Children, I hope you enjoyed today's session and most importantly, I hope you learned something new. Now, I will take your leave and I will see you in our next session. Until then, take care and stay safe. Bye.